Basil. In the Hannah, hey, 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 in the Hannah, on the Hannah, on the Hannah, a chalada, coming in the light, la 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 la, the light, the la la la, the la 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 la, the 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 la 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 la. This is my family. All I can meet over here. My husband, you know my husband, Max, you know me. You know my son, and Tom, you know my sister, Azu, you know my daughter, oh no, enjoy us, for every day, yeah, it's time, no matter when it's raining or shining, you can have a nice day, every single day.
You want some mac and cheese? Look at me. Answer me. Yes or no? Okay, fine.
I like some mac and cheese.
Why didn't you answer me?
Because I was wrong.
No, you need to pay attention to what's going on around you.
I am.
No, you're not paying attention.
I am. Great day. All I have is my life. Don't worry. Play all day. Hey, what are you doing with that? That's mine. 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 Let her play in her riddle. When she's done, you can have it.
It's harder to get over than you get up tonight.
It's fine.
Well, the bowl may be warm, but it's not the food that might be different.
This has to be one of our most badass weapons to date. Draw your swords and battle through the knight. The knight is the ultimate protector, chivalrous and honorable to those in need, truthful and loyal to his brothers in battle, and an unstoppable force to his enemies. The knight is quick, durable, and unbelievably strong. Armed in shining polished armor and wielding a razor-sharp blade, the knight will cut through monsters, raiders, and Siths alike with astounding ease. The knight values order and justice, seeking a purpose for the creative wasteland when he is in traveling with the serving with his brothers of steel, rising through the ranks and making his life as Arthur's greatest knight. Before we get into the build, don't forget the timestamps can be found below in the description to help you navigate throughout the video. But with that said, let's get right into the video, starting off with the knight's backstory and basic values. The knight was born in the suburbs of Boston and had stayed in Him and his brother would spend most of their time playing and exploring the woodland.
Good for you.
Young, his parents were by no means
It's in
overprotective, as he had mentally mapped out miles of the surrounding forest by the time he was 10. The knight loved to play at battle with his brother. They would find a spot in the forest and give each other 2 minutes to scour the area for the longest, sturdiest stick they could find before duking it out. Sometimes one of them would get enough hits on the other's body to qualify as a kill. Other times the stick would break and they'd be forced to wrestle for victory. The knight was at a disadvantage as he was 4 years younger than his brother and a hell of a lot smaller, but the challenge made him grow stronger, and he was also faster than his brother, who spent a little too much time at the dinner table. Sometimes the neighbour, a girl named Nora, would join them on their adventures, but the knight never really felt comfortable fighting her. She preferred cheering from the sideline, pretending to be his older brother's captive, whom the knight had to rescue from certain death. When they weren't out in the forest fighting and searching for monsters, the knight was in his bedroom reading fantasy books, historical tomes of medieval Europe. His favourite stories featured King Arthur, and he loved the ambiguity of history. No one really knew how much was real and how much was made up, but the knight didn't care. He dreamed of stumbling across a skeleton buried to the top of a stone somewhere in the forest. At school, the teachers told him and every other child for that matter that he could be anything he wanted. But honestly, that didn't really appeal to the knight. He liked the order and sense of purpose the knights of history had. They were chivalrous and honourable, protecting the helpless and destroying evil. He may not have been able to find any true equals in suburban Boston to defeat, but he found that he could get pretty close by dedicating time to sport. Playing in the high school soccer team, he could compete and battle other teams, and he got an immense sense of satisfaction from it. His favourite sport, however, was wrestling. There were no swords or shields, but wrestling was the ultimate adrenaline rush for him, and it felt like a duel. Years of wrestling, his much older and larger brother helped significantly, and he was unbeaten throughout high school. In his senior year of high school, he took part in the statewide championships and came alive on the mat. There was always a crowd gathered, and the knight thrived under pressure. He made it to the final and was pitted against the reigning state champion, an 18-year-old who almost had to crouch to turn sideways to fit through a double door of the gym. He was aptly named the Giant, and the knight could only sit in astonishment and wonder what on earth his parents had been feeding him as he watched the Giant's qualifying match. He wrestled exactly as the knight would have guessed, using his sheer size to overpower and smother his opponent. The knight almost felt bad for the other combatants who tried multiple times to get the Giant off his feet. Each attempt was frivolous as his legs didn't look close to buckling. The night before the match, the knight returned to his bedroom early. He looked over his enormous bookshelf to find a book to read before sleeping, and he landed on the fitting story of King Arthur and the Giant of Mont St. Michael. Arthur had masterfully beaten the Giant by outmaneuvering the colossal beast. He cut the monster in the brow, blinding the thing with its own blood and making Arthur impossible to see, let alone catch. The knight laughed. He figured he wouldn't be able to use that tactic in this fight. The next day, after a plate of eggs and bacon, the knight put on his gear for the duel. The gymnasium was full of spectators, and in the knight's mind, he was walking into a coliseum. When he saw the giant lurching high above him and just about every other person in the building by a solid foot, he could tell the reigning champion hadn't even considered the potential of losing today. They met in the middle of the mat and shook hands, and then they turned and made their way to the starting positions. As he did, he spotted Nora among the spectators. He gave a quick smile before turning his attention back to his opponent. The bell chimed and the knight had begun slowly edging his way around to the mat, giving the giant no preview of his speed. The giant came stomping towards him, sending vibrations through the mat with each step. He reached his gargantuan hands for the knight's shoulders, but the knight ducked out of his reach. This visibly angered the champion, who upped the tempo now, and the knight trumped that tempo, parrying attempted grapples left, right, and centre. The knight had no intention of trying to get the giant to the ground. The champion relied on the close proximity, barreling his opponents to the ground.
I'm here.
Already back on his feet, he jumped on the champion's back,
Forgot
raising
to
his
close
thumb
the
up in
fridge.
a hammerlock and pressing his chest against the giant's head. The
I
reigning champion
love a
writhed
nice
in fury,
drink.
but the knight didn't budge until the referee announced the victory. The knight
That's-
stood triumphant.
tasty.
The knight was the talk of the school for the next week, and he enjoyed the notoriety. Throughout high school, he had wanted to approach Nora, but despite his courage on the mat, he didn't quite have the nerve of it. When school came to an end, the knight hung up his soccer boots and his wrestling gear and decided to serve the United States Armed Forces in the war effort. There was no greater sense of purpose and honor in his mind than protecting the country and his loved ones on the battlefield, and his attitude soon landed him in a leadership role, commanding a squadron at the Battle of Anchorage. While he is too humble to speak of it all in detail, it's said that his courage inspired many, and his strategic expertise was one of the defining factors in contributing to the success of the operation. When he returned home, he plucked up the courage to ask Nora out for a drink. Before long, they were settling down to raise a family in Sanctuary Hills. After awakening from cryosleep in Vault 111, the knight will initially be furious at his son's kidnappers and his wife's murderers. He will seek to destroy them by any means necessary, but as he ventures through the post-apocalyptic wasteland, the abundance of chaos and the total lack of order and justice in the Commonwealth will gradually erode his sanity. He will long for some structure, a code which he can live by. Early in the game, he'll create order for himself, striving to do good wherever possible and making it his duty to deal with the mutated monstrosities lurking around every corner. Eventually, though, the Brotherhood of Steel will provide the perfect outlet for the way the knight wants to live. Whether or not he is passionate about the preservation of ancient technologies and the Brotherhood's overall ideology, one thing the knight values is their structure. They live by a strict and clear-cut code, value companionship, and have a hierarchy based on merit and contribution to the cause. He will be adamant about reaching a high rank within the Order, and while he doesn't have a distinct hatred for synths, he can get behind the Brotherhood's reasoning and can see why they have a problem. Paladin Dance will make his opinion on synths a little grey, however, as the bonds you may choose to develop in your storyline could make destroying synths difficult for you. Therefore, if you'll be playing the Valhalla DLC, you may just decide to create peace as opposed to reporting it straight to the Brotherhood. The decision is up to you, though, and both choices can be rationalized in the knight's values. Also, it just happens that the name of the leader of the Brotherhood is Arthur Maxim, and in some ways it seems fitting to him as he eventually be a knight under the leadership of the Arthur. Lastly, the knight will explore the idea of common thieves
I'm going to see
consider it
how I'm
to
skipping.
eliminate them entirely. At the beginning of the game, the knight's special stats will be 10 strength, 1 perception, 10 endurance, 1 charisma, 1 intelligence, 1 agility, and
I just
luck.
have to
When
do
you get the special book
fun
from
things.
luck, so you can lock down.
Hi,
We want to
Mr.
get to
Bear. Oh, get that dress from here. Diane wanted, but couldn't come to my house. You know, they got trapped. We got trapped. I'm going to go train ride home.
What's up, guys? It's Michael here, and welcome to Fudge Muppet. Today, I'm excited to bring you our latest Fallout build, and we made this guy the most devastatingly destructive and ridiculous. last video on Fallout 4, I talked about my favorite way to play the game, involving unyielding armor pieces, crazy amounts of radiation, fine intelligence, and near constant tricking of nerd ways. Because you keep your off glow from you guys asleep today, defense of your life.
Hello you lovely people, welcome to the Geek of an Iron page, and this is a Fallout 4 video, but it is unlike anything I have ever done before. This is a Fallout 4 character build video to show you how to build a character for use in an explosives only run through. Because I had millions of requests, people in there, millions asked me, okay, not millions, perhaps thousands, perhaps hundreds there. But one person asked me to do a Fallout 4 explosives only character build, and I thought, do you know what? Why not? The thing is, I don't really know how to make these types of videos. I'm not really very good at this. I've never done this before, so I'll just waffle on. And if it's useful, awesome. If not, then never mind. I'm sure you'll probably work it out. But hopefully, this can be a useful guide for you if you want to build an explosives only character. And yeah, give my channel a go. It's really quite fun. So, as you can see, right now, in the background, Betty is there. Betty Boone, who is currently a character, she's the star of for explosives only, and she's going through what she knows stuff she's being cool, and yes, she is awesome. But there was once a time when Betty
Since the inauguration on January 20th, 2025, a formidable opponent has risen to like it is to pull back from perfect policies and the authoritarianism and fascism of his regime. And one of the people is somebody you know, Governor J.B. Pritzker of Illinois, but it's actually his entire family. Going head-to-head against Donald and his cronies, and this is personal and long-standing.
Okay, so picture this. You're walking down the street, you've got a pep. Okay, so picture this. You're walking down the street, you've got a
That's
pep.
the use.
Check this out on the workbench and bang. 24 purified water, sitting
I
on the
don't
bench,
play
and there are 20 taps for a pump.
No game
This
shall I
because it
play.
didn't happen to you, it happened to me, and it gave me a great idea. Now, when money is involved in anything, the default thought process of a human being is,
Think.
hey, you know, alright, what is even your goal here? And I would say that my goal is to make enough money so that I
Play
can
the
finally afford that
supermarket
life
game.
insurance my bank keeps emailing me about.
Oh, that's
Baby bus.
even though it's the children.
Or changing jobs. It's a good time to think about how to protect
Sorry.
yourself.
Supermarket.
Alright, let's go ahead and start.
Shopping, shopping. Sweetheart, let's go to the supermarket and buy something we need.
Okay, what are we going to buy?
This is the shopping list. Just buy the items according to it.
I love the dog.
Come and make a super delicious chocolate egg. Toys.
But we can make it.
Toys for trial playing.
So happy! This toy is so fun!
Hello. Besties.